Everybody enjoys action movies. They're easy to follow, and when added to a bit of humor, they're a certain way to lighten up one's evening. In today's video, we're going to discuss the top 11 action movies of 2021. Before we get started, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Number 11. The Hitman's Wife Bodyguard. As the sequel of the 2017 action comedy The Hitman's Bodyguard, this film takes place 4 years after the events of the first film. Since that time, the bodyguard Michael Bryce and his assassin rival, Darius Kincaid, remain the best of friends. They'll have to team up once more when tasked for saving Darius's wife, Sonia, from a new danger that threatens the peace of the world.
What are you doing here? I said get anyone but Michael Bryce.
Patrick Hughes returns to direct once more in this uproarious buddy comedy, which additionally features Frank Grillo, Richard E. Grant, Antonio Banderas, and Morgan Freeman. Number 10. Godzilla vs. Kong. There's no need to do a deep dive into the plot here, as you can probably figure out what this one's about from the title. It was only a matter of time before we saw the two legendary beasts come together after their first showdown in 1962's King Kong vs. Godzilla. As these are both fan favorites, it's hard to root for one over the other. If only there were a looming threat to prevent us from having to pick a favorite. With impressive battle sequences and a pretty awesome sequence that takes place in the center of the earth, Godzilla vs. Kong will satisfy both action lovers and kaiju fans. Number 9. Boss Level. Boss Level is a 2021 American science fiction action film directed by Joe Carnahan that has a similar vibe to Groundhog Day and Edge of Tomorrow. Boss Level follows a former Special Forces agent who relives the same day over and over again.
I have died 144 times, and every day ends like this.
As he tries to uncover who's behind his murder. And each day, he gets killed again and again and again. This movie is one of Hulu's best originals to date, with critics praising Frank Grillo's performance as the protagonist, in addition to the stunning action sequences. Number 8. The Tomorrow's War. True to its name, this movie isn't set for today or even in the past, but in December 2022. This futuristic action movie revolves around a science educator and the former Green Beret, Dan Forrester, neglect to find a new line of work at the Army Research Laboratory. During the transmission of the World Cup, officers from the year 2051 show up to caution that, in their time, mankind is near the precarious edge of annihilation because of a conflict with outside trespassers, alluding to as the white spikes content, realizing that the conflict is deflected and that humankind is saved. Number 7. Mortal Kombat. Our next movie recommendation rose from the ashes of its less successful predecessor, Mortal Kombat: Annihilation, and became HBO Max's one of the most successful films of 2021. The movie follows martial artist Cole Young, who becomes a target of the ice-cold assassin Sub-Zero. Why? Well, Cole is oblivious to the fact that he possesses some pretty mystical powers, and as he tries to escape his pursuer, he eventually teams up with a group of fighters to protect Earthrealm from Outworlds. Critics weren't wild about Mortal Kombat, but audience were rather smitten with it. Tune in for the hand-to-hand combat and for the battle between Scorpion and Sub-Zero that'll transport you right back to a 90s arcade.
Get over here!
Number 6. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Speaking of MCU solo films that are worth your time, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is one of the most beautiful origin stories in the Marvel Universe. The story revolves around the titular hero and his father, Wenwu, aka the Mandarin, who possesses the all-powerful and mysterious Ten Rings. When his mother's people are at risk and an even bigger threat is uncovered, Shang-Chi must channel his power to bring down his father. The film has some of the best hand-to-hand combat scenes that you'll find in the MCU, which are beautifully choreographed at every step. Number 5. Wrath of Man. Patrick Hill begins his employment at an armored truck company and proves himself when he single-handedly takes down a group of thugs who try and rob his truck while on a job. Patrick, known as H by his co-workers, becomes a legend as he demonstrates his skills on the jobs, although he's something of a mystery. But over time, H's intentions become clear as we discover why he's chosen this new life for himself. Fans of Guy Ritchie films should not pass this flick up, as its stellar cast and impeccable action sequences rank atop some of the director's best. Number 4. Riders of Justice. Danish soldier Marcus is forced to return home to take care of his daughter when his wife is killed in a train accident. But was it an accident? When Marcus is approached by an analyst suggesting the train incident was no accident at all, he takes it upon himself to uncover the truth of what happened that fateful day. One of the few films on our list to intersperse a good bit of comedy into the ongoing action. Riders of Justice is worth a watch, not just for foreign language film lovers, but thriller junkies as well. Number 3. Nobody. One of 2021's biggest surprises in the action genre comes from Hollywood's nice guy Bob Odenkirk in this action film. The Better Call Saul actor plays an unsuspecting family man named Hutch.
Years, I worked for some very dangerous people.
Who could be described as a nobody. However, he's actually a former assassin from a government agency. And after a home invasion, Hutch finds himself unleashing the dark side he's kept locked away for all these years.
Because it meant you didn't have long to live.
He ends up taking on a Russian crime lord and must protect his own family at all costs. Number 2. The Suicide Squad. 2016 Suicide Squad was a misfire that failed to live up to all its potential. However, 2021's The Suicide Squad is not a reboot or a sequel, but is everything the David Ayer film should have been.
Each member is chosen for his or her own completely unique set of abilities.
Its R rating provides for some rather gory fight sequences. Perfect for fans who can't stand a PG-13 rated comic book flick that's pretending to be edgy. The film's stellar action scenes are matched by the outstanding development of otherwise laughable characters. Seriously, characters like the Polka Dot Man and King Shark never should have worked. But writer-director James Gunn and his talented cast bring real humor and heart to these weird anti-heroes.
Starfish is a slang term for a butthole. Think there's any connection?
No.
Number 1. No Time to Die. Daniel Craig's last performance as James Bond is one of the best in the actor's run as 007. It offers top-notch action sequences, high-stakes emotional drama, and a satisfying plot. And it also outperforms its predecessor, Spectre. When a scientist is kidnapped, Bond is called back into action and must face an all-time villain, a terrorist with some very scary technology. The result is a must-watch for fans of Craig's Bond. And critics promise it is a gratifying end for the character that the actor began portraying back in 2006. That's it, guys. If you like this video, kindly give it a thumbs up and make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.